Right, everybody, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the review I did of the model, and as always, I'm going to do these sounds separately. The sound is actually from house for this engine, but because I couldn't get a direct V2 sound, I've simply used, as I mentioned, a A3 sound chip, because I'm just a smaller version of the A3 basically. But it sounds pretty good, and it goes in the model. I've listened to real recordings of the engine, and the whistle sounds fine. To be honest, that was my main concern, the whistle, because I know that chuffs, although different engines do sound different, they're kind of the same, whereas whistles, you can have something as high pitched as what this has actually got, or something as low pitched as a Dutch's whistle. Anyway, the model's got 15 different functions for the decoder. I'll only be doing the first 10 though. Simple fact, some controllers, like the Bachmann Easy Command, and I believe the Hornby Select as well, will only do the first 10. I mean, the Bachmann Dynamics, which is what I've got, will do 20, but I've seen some models, such as the MTH Big Boy, and I think that's got 28 different functions. I've never actually seen a DCC controller that'll go over 20, so if you know of one, leave a comment in the comments box, because I'd actually be genuinely interested to see one. Now, before I play the sound, one thing I'm going to talk about is how I installed it. The socket is in the model, and it's, I believe, it's there, about there, inside the model. There's actually a recess that'll fit the DTC chip in it along here, and there's a little harness that'll hold the wires in place. That's good if you're doing normal DCC. But for DCC sound, I tried fitting a speaker inside, and you could barely hear it. So I ended up modifying the model. I'll just move the camera and putting the speaker in the tender. You can just see some little black wires just there that go from the locomotive into the tender. So I had to run wires all the way through, and the speaker's actually about there in the tender. It's stuck to the back of the coal bunker, and underneath I've made some holes for the sound to come out. And I actually put the speaker in there first. It didn't sound very loud, but what it was, I put the speaker in and it was facing up, so the sound was just bouncing around inside the tender. But now facing it down, it makes a heck of a difference. It sounds a lot better. Anyway, I shall put the... yeah, I'll leave it there. Sorry, there still is a bit of glare from outside. So, I'll do the sound effects from 1 to 10. Sorry about that. Yeah, sometimes when you use a sound effect on it, when you start it up again, even if you haven't got it selected, it'll start for some reason. But anyway, now it's quiet. I won't talk through the sound process. So, I'll start her up for you. Right, those are the first 10 functions. I'm going to take her up. I'm actually going to take her up to, I think, speed step 10, which is what I normally run it at. Now, before I do, please nobody mention the chuff rates out of sync. I tried for an hour to get a sweet spot, and I just couldn't get it. I don't know why. I don't know if it was me, if it was the decoder, if it was the controller, or what. I've managed to do it with other engines in the past, but for this one, it just wouldn't do it for some reason. I'm just wondering if, because it's designed for an A3, if it's designed for the bigger wheels of the A3, rather than the chuff rate of something like this. Anyway, slowly take her up to speed. I'll start her off at speed step 2. You see the chuff rate there, I couldn't get it as sweet as I wanted it, but it looks okay. And speed step 4. I'll go all the way up to 10. you can see, there's not much oscillating with this model, there's just a little bit of movement. Chuffing sounds pretty good. It runs very, very smoothly. We'll take it back down. Back down to idle. Right, well that's the sound for you. Like I say, it's not a proper V2 sound. It is from the LNER-A3, and I know I've mentioned it several times, but I just wanted people to make sure that, you know, say, oh, where to get this V2 sound from. So anyway, the sound itself, it is a brilliant sound, but it is from House, so it is expensive. I think the sound really does give an extra dimension to the model, and I don't just mean an extra one dimension, I mean probably an extra two. It's that good. So I do love installing sound into all my models. I know it's expensive and it can be complicated. Like I say, with this one I had to do some modification, but it's nowhere near as bad as like the Bachmann A1s or stuff like that. Because like I say, the cab, it's all one piece, and all this under here is one piece. It's not like where you've got in the Bachmann A1s and A2s where you've got the frame to contend with, and the boiler, and the cab, and the inside of the cab. So it's a lot easier to install sound into this one. Also, where the drawbar is, there's actually a little recess that comes down. So I just simply fed the wires through there, and it was easy. The only bit I actually modified, I actually filed a small section, excuse me, underneath the tender, because the chassis actually fits into the body shell rather than the body shell fitting onto the chassis. So you can't even see the hole the wires go into. So, all in all, I absolutely love this model. If you can get your hands on it, which you should be able to, I'd say get it. If you can put some sound in it then, absolutely fantastic. Because Preservation period, or British Railways period, or LNER period if you can get one from then, it's a fantastic model all round. Well done, Bachmann. Anyway, hope you enjoyed all that, and I shall see you all soon.